Hello everybody, that's me Usama Abu Hajar and welcome to the machine learning tutorial. This tutorial has been made as an alternative solution for data science final exam during the COVID-19 2020. This tutorial will be submitted to our supervisor Greg Doyle, and the main objective and hope of this tutorial is to give the readers and the people who is using it a good understanding and basic information about machine learning. This machine learning was designed by Jupyter Notebook, so to have a better understanding and running of this tutorial, you have to install, and I advise to install, Jupyter Notebook on your devices. At the same time, I advise you always to refer to the main class slides has been given by us by our teacher, Greg Doyle. They always have the useful information and the correct information. And to give you a better understanding of machine learning, I was trying to explain the main and the important definitions of machine learning, such as data and information, and what is the difference between them. And I was trying to define the data types, semi-structured, unstructured, and structured, and what is the data format that we can use in our daily life. And absolutely, machine learning has different types, such as supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. In this tutorial, I was trying to explain with a useful and clear diagrams what is the difference between the three different types. So this diagrams was hoping to show the inputs and the output of each of these learning types and what is the main difference between them. So this information would be hoped to give you a good understanding of what is classification and clustering at the same time. Classification and clustering are important parts of machine learning, so I was focusing about give the actual information and the difference between them. And as a personal experience, I was always confused about the three terms: artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So in this tutorial, I was trying to explain the difference between the three terms and give a bit of history about them, as if we know them, we should really have a good understanding of machine learning. I was confused myself about what is AI, what is the difference between AI and machine learning, and what is the similarity? Are they the same or not? So in this tutorial, I'm answering these questions as well. In this tutorial, I will be covering the machine learning applications in our daily life and how we use machine learning every day and everywhere without noticing this. So what is the future of machine learning as well will be discovered and described in this tutorial. And to have a better understanding of machine learning, there is some advice about different topics to be studied and to be learned about before we start the coding and the actual main core of this tutorial, such as learning about mathematics and learning about Python syntax, because Python is used by a lot of people for machine learning and it's one of the most popular programming language for machine learning. At the same time, I describe the most important libraries that are used by Python as an open source functions and methods to save our time with this pre-built method and functions to be used during the process. I describe the top 10 algorithms of machine learning and how to use them and how to pick the best for us. Since we have all these definitions and information getting, so now we have to start the main core of this tutorial. And for this tutorial and for the good understanding, I use decision tree as a main algorithm to be processed. And I have described what is this decision tree, and in real life how we make decision tree every day when we go to buy laptops, for example, without noticing this. So to start the machine learning process, we have to get the data. I have designed myself a data. This data has 200 rows of information about game of golf. So I show in this tutorial how to pre-process this data, how to load it into the working environment, how to clean it, and how to convert it to binary and make it ready to be trained by the model. Since we have this data cleaned and converted to binary, now our model is ready to learn about this data. But at the same time, we could show this data to the user to have a good understanding of this data as a graphs. So we could show them this data and display it such as a graphs, columns graphs, pie chart, and all these different representations. So now, since we have the data ready, we could train the model to have a good understanding of this data and to build a good experience, build on the previous experience of this data. So since this data is clean and ready, we could say hey machine learning, could you learn about this data? In case of any future coming events, there is a new input, you could be able to predict yourself the output of these new coming inputs. So if there's a people who would like to organize a long and a big full months of golf games, they could use our models to be able to predict the good schedule when they could play the games and whether not. So as I have said, there is a lot of learning. You could always refer to the YouTube videos to watch more details about each section of this tutorial. At the same time, you could refer always to the different resources links I have included in every different part. So if you see over here, there's a links for every different sections to have a good understanding and extra information about the things I have included in my tutorial. So if you want any questions and you have any questions during the learning, refer to me, send me an email or leave it in the comments and I'll back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much and see you in coming events.